Hey, and this is page 6, even though it's page 7. But let's not talk about that. So I'm just going to prime it, a little bit of gesso. I know I've shown this all the time, but you know what? I'm always mindful that there's someone that just picked this one because they like the image and they just want to watch this video and maybe they don't know. So if you haven't watched anything else, then you know now how to prime your page. And this time I'm going to start with red. So I'm just having like a color theory ink pad here and I'm going to just color it with red. You can see I'm doing a little more coloring in the middle and then a little less at the ends. And again, a lovely starting point for an art journal. And now I'm just going to spray with some inks, and this is October afternoon. And I decided to do that just because of the white part in the middle. So I'm just going to spray a little ink. And now I'm just adding more ink, obviously. I probably just cleaned the nozzle. So I'm just going to spray. And then you can see already how it's resisting, the paint. The inks are resisting the paint. And I just love it. Just a tiny bit of yellow. And just let it dry. So once it's dry, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to try and emboss on my page. So in full disclosure, this didn't work out great, but I'm still not regretting the process. So I'm spraying with a little bit of adhesive over the stencil, and now I'm just going to cover it with embossing powder, and then I'm going to shake it off, and I'm going to emboss the image, the leaves on there. So, okay, number one, what I should have done is I should have just first talked the whole page with a little talk bag, because that takes away all the stickiness, and then I should have added the adhesive, because what I forgot was that the paints and the inks and everything has a little bit of tackiness to it. So the embossing powder is sort of stuck to it. Plus, I think the inks are a little oily, and that's why the embossing process didn't work so well. But I'm not regretting it. You know what? I heat it up. I don't know, probably didn't record that part. And you can see some of the leaves coming through. But if I were you and you were to make this page with me step by step, I would just tell you to skip this part. And maybe what you can do is just use a little bit of soft gel and do the leaves, just to make them totally transparent. But in the end, I will bring the leaves back and I'll show you how. So I'm painting over everything with magenta paint. And I'm just doing it, this bottoms and sides. You can see there. Again, everything is resisting a little, which I love. And now I'm just going to squeeze some white right out of the tube onto the page. And then I'm just going to roll it. And you know what I love about rolling paints is I love the graphic look of it. I've said this many times on pages when I've done it. So just lightly rolling it. I'm rolling it into, the wetness of the inks. And so it blends a little. Just covering the middle of the book with a paintbrush. And now I'm just going to let it dry completely. Once it's dry, I'm going to add the flourish. So you can see there on the left-hand side of the page how beautiful the embossing thing is actually working. But I did bring it back later on, and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. I'm cutting off a piece of this flourish because I wanted to slide right into the middle of the book. I don't feel like I want to paste half of it on one page, so I'm just cutting it so that it's nice and flush. And now I'm just adding some paint splatters. So this is also again the magenta, and this time I just want it to be really dark. Or is it the magenta, or is it, no, it's actually the deep violet, sorry. You can see I'm dabbing a wet paintbrush in the ink splatters, and I'm just tapping it over my finger, and that also creates lovely paint splatters. And now I'm just going to have fun with it. And one thing that I love using water with these inks and then letting them dry, because the way that the inks dry, when there's some drops that's really opaque, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And really you can't get that effect even if you dry it with the embossing tool. It's not the same. So that's one little tip for you. If you really want some beautiful water droplets, just let it dry as it is right there. And now I'm going to bring back the leaves, flourishes, and as you can see, I'm using the stencil on all the pages. Just going to spray it with a little gold paint. So just make sure the gold goes in the paint goes in the right direction. So I'm testing it in my bin right now, and now I covered it with a little bit of paper and I'm just quickly giving a spray, just like that, just super quick. And you can see how I'm following, the curve. Just a very quick spray. And I love this. I love the fact that it looks almost blurry. When I photographed it, I thought my camera was out of focus. And then I realized, no, it's really the effect. Because of the stencil wasn't flat on the page. So this is a cool way, of adding the flourishes, very easy way. Spray paint is a great tool to use on your art journals. I don't use it nearly enough, but in this case, it just came together lovely. You can see that I wrote some words on it and I covered it, and now I'm just going to do the same that I did in the previous page with the pen. just going to add some flourishes, but this time just with black. And just adding more detail with a little bit of white ink. So the same color that I used for the words, I'm just using now to add some markings. The words for the previous page, remember we created this pink to write the words, so I'm just using it because I have it, you know, as a little bit of detail on this page. And like I've said so many times, it's this type of detail, this type of attention to detail that really makes your page something to look at. This is what distinguishes it from art journaling to just another art journal page. And I really want to encourage you to try it and to see how you feel about it. This is the final page, and I added my journaling here. And you can see the embossing shining through there, here and there. And I love it. I actually do really love it. So maybe try it. I know I said maybe not, but you know what? You never know. What a beautiful layout. I still can't believe that it turned out so nice. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.